Hello, Mr. Rubo here, and today we're looking at finding the other zeros of a polynomial function when given a zero. So you can see in this question here, we are given that 3 is a zero, and we want to find the other zeros. Now, something of note, you should always check this out first. Since we have 4 terms, we want to see if we can factor by grouping, but hopefully if you try to group, you kind of see there's really, like, you can take out an x squared, but they're not going to have the same, they're not going to have, what's left over won't be the same. So we can't factor by grouping, but since we're given a zero, we can do some division. Now, you could write this as a factor, so x minus 3, and do long division. But since we already got it as a zero, I'm going to go ahead and just do synthetic division. Now, I know different people have slightly different setups, but I do the big L. So 3 goes on the outside, 1, -1, 17, and -6. And now I just follow my algorithm for synthetic division. So I bring down the first term, so the 1, and I multiply. Add, so -8 plus 3 is -5. Multiply again, I get -15. Add, I get, that didn't come out right. That's 2. And then 2 times 3 is 6. And hey, we better get 0 as our remainder because we're told this is a 0. If we got something other than 0, it means one of two things. Either one, I'm wrong in what 0 I gave you. Doesn't happen often, but it could. The more likely case, though, is that there's a mistake somewhere in your synthetic division. Okay. So at this point, we now know by doing this division, we know this is our remainder, that's our constant, that's our x, and that's our x squared. So let's go ahead and write what we have. So 1x squared minus 5x plus 2, and remainder 0 we don't care about. And now, since we're at a quadratic, now we have a lot of different options in terms of solving. But if we want to try it the easiest way, we want to try to think about, factoring. But to multiply to give us 2 and add to give us -5, there's not a lot of options for multiplying to 2, and none of those options add to -5. So right there, when you see that, you should be like, like I can't factor. So let's go into quadratic equation, quadratic formula. So opposite of b, so -5, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And we just go ahead and we simplify this. So we got 5 plus or minus square root. That would be 25, and that's 8 all over 2. And if we continue solving this, or simplifying this, I should say, 5 plus or minus, that would be 25 minus 8 is 17 over 2. And this will not simplify, so our other 2 zeros are 5 plus square root 17 all over 2, and then 5 minus square root of 17 all over 2. So there we go. There's our 2 answers. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.